Hi. So I've just got home like 2 hours ago. It's 37 degrees outside. For anyone doing the math in other system, it is about 99 Fahrenheit. I'm not exaggerating it. Being out there for 5 more seconds, I can feel my skin is burning and my head is spinning. It is that kind of heat. The good thing is that I got 2 aircon units at home. I can just turn them on app 10 minutes before I walk into the home. So when the cold air hit my face, honestly, in that moment, I feel the air conditioner is the greatest creation of humanity. So that's what I want to talk about today. There is this huge debate online right now that people in Europe are genuinely asking why Chinese have so many air conditioners. And I saw some Chinese are posting that even pig farms have installed air conditioners here. So we are not going to talk about environment or culture today. I just want to walk you through the weather, the power grid, and how much it actually costs. A few cents at a time. That's what my channel does. So when people are just saying Chinese people have so many air conditioners, let's just not vibe on it. Let's look at the data. Nationally, for every 100 households, there are over 160 air conditioners. So read that again. That's 1.6 units for every household on average across the whole country. In the bigger cities, that number is 2 to 3. Remember when I was a kid, aircon was such a luxury. Lots of families just cannot afford it. But now, very normal 2-bedroom apartments have 2 to 3 units. 1 unit per room. Some even installed the unit in the kitchen. That's not unusual. So at some point, the air conditioner has stopped being a nice upgrade. It became a survival. So maybe you're just wondering that are Chinese people ultra sensitive to the heat? Let me give you the real picture. Some people in Europe may say, oh, it will be hot for like a few days or a week. You can just get through it, right? And for sure that works when the temperature is dry because it can cool down at night. But that's not something happening in here in China. Take Shanghai for example. In summertime, you get 20 to 30 days that's over 35 degrees, which is 95 Fahrenheit. But at night, the temperature barely drops. It still feels like 30 degrees, and it is humid all the time. So there is no break. You don't get the cool nights to actually take a breath. If we go further inland, when we check the cities like Chongqing and Wuhan, people literally call these cities furnace cities. They are over 40, 45 degrees. Winters there are damp and cold. Summer is brutal. So the temperature swing can be huge. Try sleeping in that situation without an aircon. It's just like sleeping on a steamer. So go back to the pig farm thing. It's not the farmers that are too precious about the pigs. Pigs can actually die from a heat stroke in such humid heat. So it's not a comfort decision. It's all about survival. Same logic to humans. And naturally, the next question is, if literally everyone is running aircon at the same time, how to maintain the grid? Some places in Europe, you cannot even install the aircon without worrying about tripping anything. So let me tell you the story. Flashback to around 2000. When I was a kid, every summer it had this little rituals. We call it the blackout. Every few days at night, the whole street can go dark. My mom would be fanning me to sleep with her paper fan. She told me that there was too much demand on the grid, so we have to rest it for a few hours. So people in other regions of the city can use the electricity. That's how we passed the summer when I was a kid. But I genuinely cannot remember the last time we faced the shortage of electricity, maybe in the recent 2 decades. And the reason is simple. China basically went all in on building one joint connected power grid. So think of it as the high-speed railway network across this country. Except instead of moving people fast in this network, it's moving electricity across the country. So the power cooling down my apartment tonight probably came from west, thousands of kilometers away from here, or a solar farm in the desert, or the wind farm on the north. So these are all sent over on this ultra high voltage lines with very little loss. And that clean energy slices of the grid keeps getting bigger every year. Burning coal for electricity is still there, but it's more like a reserve and backup plan. Honestly, I think it's a very efficient way to build infrastructures in such a big country like China. It means that people can literally running air conditioning all summer. Imagine eating watermelon, watching TV, sitting in the aircon room. This is a very typical postcard image of a Chinese summer. Alright, so you may also ask, so how is the electricity bills? Fair question. And let's start with the unit price itself. A standard aircon here in China costs around 2,000 RMB, which is like $280. So it's not a luxury purchase. Now here is the math part. So a normal energy-saving aircon running for 20 hours a day, that's roughly 5 to 8 kilowatt per day. Let's just take 8. In Shanghai, residential power is around 50 cents per kilowatt during the daytime and half price at night. So doing the math, it's like 4 to 6 RMB per day, which is a little bit less than $1 per day. And by 1 month, that's like 200 RMB, which is probably $35. Compare that price to places like in Germany or UK, where each kilowatt cost can easily triple the cost here in China. It can maybe take you $8 to $10 every day. So the price difference is still very huge. Electricity has been always kept cheap in China because it's a very deliberate choice of policy. It's a mandatory to keep the price very low so every household can really afford it. And now let's step back from money and electricity for a second and talk about why this summer typically feels like it's on fire. The immediate cause, as you may know, is the El Nino effect. The Pacific Ocean runs warmer than before, which just drags global temperature up. So every strong El Nino year, we feel the same pattern. It's like extremely hot, like as you feel today. But if we zoom out even further, and honestly, we are already living inside a warm stretch within a much longer ice age circle on a scale of probably 1,000 years. The planet itself is gradually getting warmer. Of course, human emissions are speeding that up, but that's not a major cause of the warm effect. Nature itself has more power on this trend than people usually give it credit for. So I think this isn't just survive this summer situation here. Extreme heat, temperature change is a constant topic. It's gonna come back in the next few years again and again, more often, not less. If this kind of trend is becoming the new normal, the aircon, it might just be the next generation's basic living equipment. It's a survival gear. So here is my question for you. Is your aircon ready for the summer already? Or are you still waiting or shopping for your first one? Let me know in the comment. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.